your trajectory puts me in mind a lot of Tina Marie.
Mm.
And I don't
Mm.
know if you know Tina's work at all,
Uh,
but
yeah, of course I do.
you were always more aligned at Olivia, from my viewpoint, maybe I'm wrong. You were always more aligned with Black artists at Olivia,
Well,
and
with basically Southern, being raised in the South, yeah, you know, people don't recognize that's actually the indigenous music. You know,
that's
it's the
right.
music that is native to the South. I mean, and you know, it's a it's just such a heavy influence,
Yes.
and it's just always the music that I really appreciated.
I'm really curious about the North Carolina uh, influence in those years.
Well, the North Carolina influence. One of the most interesting things that happened to me. I worked on a grounds crew. I had a when I was like 18. Duke University was in Durham, where I grew up. I grew up in Durham and Hillsborough, and I didn't have, you know, I was from a very poor family, and my mother died. And for a long story short, I couldn't live at home when I was really young. I left home at a really young age, and so I was working in this grounds crew, and in the grounds crew, I'd say was probably 75% Black. And there were these much older gentlemen on the grounds crew. And then, in fact, women, we had to go to court to be allowed to have the job.
Wow.
A group of three of us went to court to complain that why can't we have this job? And I really needed the job. So we were working on the grounds crew, and my nickname was Squirrel because everybody said I did everything too fast. And but there was this beautiful guy on the grounds crew named Hazel Burke. Now, I had been listening to gospel since I was little, but he was a guy that was originally in the group Brownie McGee and Sonny Terry. Do you ever remember hearing
Yes.
about?
Yes.
And it was originally a trio. And basically, the reason why he was still in North Carolina working on a grounds crew is they left their families to go pursue music, and he refused to leave his family. And he
Okay.
was this beautiful musician. And we would do these things like all the grounds crew on Friday would go tardy, buy a whole bunch of beer, and go into the Duke Woods where no one could find us and play music and sing. And he was the most amazing guy. But I think in churches, when I was younger, they were definitely not gospel churches, but my interest was completely gospel. And what happened, and I don't mean religiously, I just mean musically.
Yes. Yes.
And ever since I was little, I mean, Aretha Franklin was my favorite artist, and her gospel album just was still to this day is my favorite album.
Yes.
And so, uh, but but still, church gave me my music education. But I went to my father took me around to lots of revivals and stuff to try and get me to sing, which I really hated. I was really shy, but at any rate, yeah, North Carolina definitely had a big influence on my singing.